Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Friday Night Flies. So this week, I think Ethan issued the challenge. We're going to be doing a fry battle. Salmon fry are coming the next little bit once it warms up after the snow that we've gotten, and I've got two patterns up my sleeves, so bring it on, Junior. So we're going to be playing around with some solo res and showing you the different viscosities and all that kind of stuff. The first one's more classically styled. I've been getting some requests on how to tie these guys. I'm going to be doing the Mallard and Silver. I've done a Mallard and Bronze, Bronze and Gold, I think I called it as well. So two variations of this one. I'm going to be doing the white version. I've done it with Bronze Mallard as well and Gold. Both are pretty snazzy and both deserve a spot in your box. Maybe post... I think I posted them on our Facebook page. So head on over and check them out if you haven't, or check them out on my Instagram. And all that jazz. So first one's more classically styled, like I said. The next one's a little more realistic, I would say. It's got some cool tips and tricks. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, guys, there it is, the Mallard and Silver, as I call this one. Again, pretty classic looking. I'm really excited to fish this one for cutties this year. And like I said, I've done this with Bronze Mallard as well instead of just the regular Mallard. So there's some variations on this. If you check out our Facebook page, I have posted them on there, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it's a pretty easy one. It goes together pretty quick. So let's just pop that out of the vise. And I should have prepped this ahead of time, because these ones are a bit of a pain to get on because of the bend on this hook. So this is a Mustad L87 7 extra long streamer hook in a size 10. So I would do these in a size 8 as well. Actually, that one went on pretty easy. I'll show you the package here. So I'm just adding a bead to it, just a silver bead. That's the package for the hook there. So pretty lengthy looking hook. That's a 1/8 silver bead. So for thread, I'm just using some UTC 70 in red. Just going to build a little bit of a bump behind the bead there. Just kind of hold it in place a little bit. Trim away the excess, don't need that. And we're going to take our thread all the way back to the bend. And I like to put just a little bit of a hot spot on there. Probably don't need it, but I think it looks cool. So I've got a pretty big mallard feather here, as you can see. And I'm going to use the fibers for the wing as well as for the tail. So I think I've got some here that I could use. No, let's grab another one. So you want to make sure you have enough fibers here. So the way I clean this up, just pull off all the fluffy stuff. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull the fibers away from the stem, just so that they all kind of line up like so. Then I'm just going to tear it away. And I'm going to just fold it on itself so the nice sides are kind of facing out. And they're kind of splayed out, going all over the place. So the tail's going to be quite short, so I'm not going to go the full body length. So a little shorter than that. I'm going to tie this in right on top. A few wraps back, just make sure it's sitting how I like it. That looks alright. And I'm going to wrap this all the way up, trying to keep that body nice and smooth. Because we're going to have a tinsel body on this. So you don't want any bumps. Trim that so it's right behind the bead. Finish just locking that down. Now we're going to add a rib on this fly, which is just some Uni French oval in small. You can use wire as well. I kind of like the bulkiness of this stuff. A little more pronounced than the small sized wire. I'll just tie that in on my side of the hook, all the way down. Again, tying it in at the front and all the way back just to keep it to keep the body uniform. Now for the body, I'm going to use some holographic tinsel, large size in silver. If you're going to use medium, I would double up the strands. So give yourself enough to work with. The nice thing about the large size is it fills up these bodies on these long shanks pretty quickly. So again, I'm going to tie that in so it's pretty much the whole length of the hook shank, and just to help keep things nice and smooth is what we want here. So kind of like so. So yeah, I think this was Ethan's idea, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're even going to get Dana in on the mix, even though he doesn't fish fry patterns. It's a challenge, bud. That's why we're doing it. So we really wanted to highlight the Solres resins. They're a fantastic product. They all cure tack free. You see me using bone dry, I'm absolutely in love with that stuff. I'm going to play around with a couple of the other viscosities as well in my other flies. So we wrap that all the way up to the front. Oh, and there you go. My first thread break on this show. It's about time. So we're going to do that again. Luckily it didn't pop out of the bobbin, so we can keep going here. So I'm just going to quickly go over all that again. And I'm going to wrap that up one more time. Go full turn at the back, overlapping. I knew that thread break was going to come at some point. I've been tying some big streamers and stuff lately, so this downsizing the thread definitely makes it a little tricky to get your tension back. We're just going to keep wrapping that all the way up. A little more careful this time. A couple wraps just to lock it down. A couple wraps after folding it back. Chuck away the excess. It gets off my finger. So now I'm going to rib the fly. So I'm going to take a full turn at the back, and I'm going to wrap it up. Just evenly space them out. Doesn't really matter how many ribs you have. Anywhere 7 to 10 is totally fine. So we're going silver on silver on the Bronze Mallard version of this fly. I use Bronze Mallard for the tail, and I use gold holographic for the body, and a gold rib in the same size. So if you're wanting to do these up, that's how she's done. So now that I've got that in place, I'm going to coat the body in the bone dry. This just helps to protect it, keep it a little more durable. This fly is for the sea run cutties, and they are not nice to flies, let's put it that way. But this bone dry should hold up. And we're just going to cure that up. The thing I love about this stuff is it cures like that. Nice and easy. So we're going to put an underwing on this fly, actually 2 underwings. So the first is just going to be some Superfly Select Bucktail in white. Nice big tails. For the Bronze Mallard version, I was using the brown from this side. And you don't need much. We're going super sparse on this. Really not much at all. Cut myself a small clump there. Just clean up the under first. As you can see, there's really not much there. I'm just going to quickly align these tips. You don't need to be perfect. Maybe once more. Kind of like so. So I've got a very, very sparse clump here. I'm going to tie this in so it's just a smidge past where the tail is currently. Tie that in right on top. Just like so. Trim away the extra. Push that bead up just to really lock that down. Now we're going to add a little bit of flash. So just some crystal flash and pearl. I'm just going to take 2 strands here. I don't want this to be overly flashy as the body's got quite a bit of flash in it already. So again, I'm going to tie that in right on top. Like so. Then I'm going to double that over. So I got 4 strands there. You're going to probably recognize this fly. It's very, very similar to Scott's Minute Minnow, which is a killer pattern as well. Definitely took some inspiration from that guy. So now, I'm going to make my wing. So some of these mallard feathers you're going to find that one side is longer than the other, okay? So in that case, you're going to want to pair it up with another feather. Sometimes you get them from the middle of the body, and they're going to be even on both sides. So this one, unfortunately, is a little longer on the left side. So I'm going to have to pair it up with one from the right. So I'm just going to run my scissors through the feather. You can make this as long or as thick as you like. It's kind of about how big I'm going there, so maybe about 2 bead widths. Kind of varies depending on which one I'm tying. Good to have some variety. Take an equal clump from the other side. And I'm just going to get those tips pointing in the same direction, like so. Sometimes they kind of twist on you. I'm not too worried about it on this fly. And I'm going to measure that so it's just past that bucktail. I'm going to tent these, so I'm just going to pinch them against the hook shank. I'm going to do a loose wrap on top. I'm going to pinch everything together. I'm going to pull straight down. And that's going to lock them in place. Now, hopefully, if I did this right, and I'm not too worried about how perfect it is. This is all going to split apart. That one's sitting on the wrong side there, so I'm going to redo this. Yeah, one more time. Just like so. It's looking a little bit better. Just make sure it's sitting how I like. You know what? That wing closest to me is not nice, so that's going away. Do that one more time. Nice thing about mallard is it's cheap, so you don't have to worry about wasting any of it. And if you know duck hunters like I do, you're going to have a lot of it. I'm actually going to trim up that crystal flash just a smidge. So once more, clump from each side. Sometimes they just don't want to sit how you want them to. That's okay. Natural materials, every feather is different. So again, I'm just going to pinch that on the side, loose wrap, pull it right on top. That's sitting a little bit better. I'm enjoying that. A couple good wraps just to make sure it's not going to come out. Trim away the butts. There you go. Just going to create a little hot spot here. Little gills, if you will. Now I'm just going to whip finish. Just like so. See, once you start fishing, this swing's going to do what it wants anyway, so finish it off. Just some bone dry around that hot spot. I'll just help protect those wraps and cure that up. So there you have it. The mallard and silver. Nice little fry pattern. If I can get that wing to sit. There we go. So that's number one. That's kind of what she's going to look like in the water. She's going to split apart and everything's going to start moving on its own once it gets fished. So pretty cool, classic looking fry pattern. Easy to do. Let's head on up and sign out. Alright, there it is. The mallard and silver. So like I said, I had bronze mallard version as well. Both look fantastic. Also, so besides the gold body and the gold rib, I actually used a copper bead. So they look pretty cool. Experiment with this one. It's kind of a cool one. Goes together pretty easy. Good introduction to classic flies anyway. Mallard's cheap and easy to work with. Bronze mallard a little different. Still easy to work with, but a little more expensive, so you don't want to be wasting anything. So good feather to practice with for sure. So that's fly number one for me. Got a really fun one coming up. It's going to teach you guys a thing or two, I think. So yeah, let me just get set up and we'll be right back.
Friday Night Flies would like to thank the following sponsors: Superfly, Solarez, Chinook Wind Outfitters, Dr. Slick, Griffin, Stonefoe,